Assalamu alaikum and hello and welcome to my show Connecting with Saima. Hope all of you are doing great and waiting for my another show. So I'm here with my another guest, Nicole. Nicole is a criminal lawyer who just started her career. Nicole, welcome to my show. And
thank you very much for having me. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
So Nicole, I know you for many years, but for this audience, can you tell about yourself, about your career? How did you start? How did you become a lawyer?
Yes, so I started at York University where I completed my degree in political science. It was an honors bachelor degree. And throughout that time, I decided in about third year that I was going to be a lawyer. So that's when I started preparing my applications and studying for the LSAT. I wrote my LSAT in my third year of university, and I did very well. So I knew that I would get in somewhere in Ontario. I was lucky enough to get into Queen's University, and that's where I completed my law degree. I finished in 2021 is when I graduated. I completed my articles at a top criminal defense firm, and I've been a practicing lawyer for almost a year now.
You always wanted to be a lawyer, or since your childhood, or you just I think you decided like later on in your life, right?
Yes, I definitely decided later on in life that I wanted to be a lawyer. Initially, I actually wanted to be a doctor because I was very interested in sciences and helping people. But as I grew older, I realized that, you know, the skills that I developed throughout my life were much better suited as a lawyer. I wanted to do medical malpractice when I first went into law school, but I was lucky enough to get a position working in the federal penitentiary in Kingston. So I worked at multiple institutions, Millhaven, Joyceville, and Bath. And each one is a different level of security. So there was maximum prison as well as medium and minimum. And that's what kind of opened my eyes to criminal law and what kind of propelled me to be a criminal defense lawyer. So that's what I practice now, and that's my specialty, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
All right, that's great. So you have your own firm, right?
Yes, so I just opened my own firm in February, so it's, you know, almost 4 months old, and that was a journey in and of itself. It wasn't something that I planned to do so early on, but the opportunity presented itself, and I quickly set up my firm, and you know, it's going well. I'm very busy. There's a lot of alleged criminals that need my help, and it's been a difficult process. There's a lot of administrative stuff that goes into opening your own firm, and right now I'm the only employee, so I do it all. I'm the lawyer, I'm the accountant, I'm the secretary. Wow. So I'm learning everything, you know, learn every single role, and then maybe in a little bit I'll hire some people to help me out.
So where is your location, physical location?
So my office is at 370 Bloor Street East. It's a little bit outside of Yorkville. I'm in a chambers, which means I'm with a lot of other sole practitioners. Although we don't work together in a firm, I have so many senior lawyers that I can talk to and ask questions to and have a coffee with, which is nice, because although I'm a one-woman show, it's nice to go into an office and see other lawyers and have that support if I need it.
Looks like this field is very male-dominating, right? What do you say about it? Is it, or it's just we just think like it is?
Yeah, so law in general, if you would look maybe 20 to 40 years back, was mainly men.
Men, yeah.
If you looked at the graduating classes on the wall at my law school, for example, there was maybe 2 females in a class, you know, 30, 40 years ago. Now, the class is fairly balanced. my graduating class, I think it was 50-50 girls and guys. But in the workforce, you know, if you look at the bigger firms, they're trying to be more balanced. However, I think law still kind of holds the stigma of being male dominant because they're seen as possibly stronger or harder working.
Especially criminal law, right?
Yeah, criminal law, people view it as, you know, a very difficult profession for a woman to have, and everyone's always shocked when I say I'm a criminal defense lawyer.
As much I know about you, you're very sweet, right?
Yes.
So how do you handle all these criminals and...
Yes, so in my personal life, I'm a completely different person than who I am in my professional life. And a lot of my clients are very sweet, but yeah, I get that reaction from a lot of people. They're like, how do you do criminal defense? Aren't you scared? Or, you know, you're just like a little girl. How are you going into prison and meeting with your clients? And yeah, it's definitely a hurdle that I need to get over. Even some of the clients are surprised because I'm young. Not only am I a woman, but I'm young. And I'm always faced with many questions as to how am I going to do what I say I'm going to do. But I think, you know, my schooling has prepared me, and working with top lawyers in the city has prepped me to be, you know, a very adequate lawyer and represent my clients to the best of my abilities and give them the best defense possible. And even the most serious of people, or those that you perceive as criminals, they're very sweet too.
I personally believe women can do anything right now. Like, they're very strong, very powerful, right? You agree, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
I would argue that women are much stronger than men.
I know. All right. So you were born here, right?
Yes, I was born here.
You were born and raised here, and your family, your parents, they came from Russia, I believe, right?
I'm actually half Russian, half Ukrainian. My mother's Russian and my dad's Ukrainian.
Okay. All right. And who did you get inspired from? Like your mom, more from your dad, or more from your mom, or both?
I think both my parents inspired me in different ways. None of them are in law, but they always pushed me to do my best, and school was very important to them, so they pushed me to study hard and get good grades. And then ultimately what I decided to do with that was up to me, but they always backed me and said, you need an education, you're smart, you need to put it to good use. So they were always very supportive and inspiring by pushing me to work hard and saying, you know, my grandparents came here and didn't even know the language, and they were able to build what they built. And same with my parents. So me having the opportunity to be born here and speak the language and basically have, you know, all the opportunities in front of me, I should be able to achieve all of my goals. So that's kind of how I've lived my life.
So how many languages you can speak for your audience?
So I went to French immersion, so I'm fluent in French, and I've had many jobs that are bilingual. Obviously, I'm speaking English right now.
Yeah. I know about French. You taught some of my students, right?
Yes, I did a lot of French tutoring. I also speak Russian, and I'm fairly fluent in Farsi.
I'm sure you guys are enjoying this show, and we are having lots of fun with Nicole. We're coming back after the break. See you soon. Welcome back, guys, and we're gonna start our conversation with Nicole. So Nicole, we talk about the languages. You can speak 3, 4, 5 languages, right? Four languages.
Yeah, but we can say 5 or 6, whatever. Sounds better.
Yeah. So you have some helpers if someone needs help in Urdu, Punjabi, or so someone can, if they want to come to you.
So I actually do have a client right now that speaks Urdu. So I often ask that they bring a family member that can help translate. That way they're comfortable, and then there becomes an issue of privacy. And, you know, some people don't want to share a very serious situation with somebody they don't know in initial meetings. But in court, there are licensed interpreters that can be ordered so that they can translate absolutely everything that's going on in the courtroom to ensure that the client understands and that the lawyers understand, and the judge or justice of the peace understands everything that's going on, and the client is able to express themselves and make sure they understand the proceedings.
How do you balance your family and career?
Oh, it's very difficult. Going into law, I was told that balance is almost impossible. And as a young lawyer and somebody that just opened their own law firm, I've learned this to be very true. However, I try to make time for my family and my friends because, number one, I need to take care of myself, or else I won't be able to take care of my clients. So I always try to at least make one day a week for myself or my family, and then I also try to stay active and go to the gym, make sure I'm in good health so that I'm able to do my job. A lot of people, you know, work very, very hard and they end up burning out, so I think it's very important to maintain this balance.
Okay. That's good. Okay. You're an inspiration of so many women in these days, especially young women. What is your advice to them?
My advice to young women, and I guess all women, is...
Even anyone, any youth, right?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone needs advice. I would say that if you have a goal in mind, don't let things distract you from it. Work towards that goal, create attainable steps in order to get to that goal, and just take it day by day. Nobody can't build, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? That's what they say. So you have to be sympathetic to yourself and be willing to put in the work to get where you want to be, regardless of where that might be. For me, it was become a lawyer and now run a successful law firm, but for others it might be to travel the world and try new food. So everyone's goals are different. Don't get distracted by other people's goals and how they might seem that they're ahead of you, and just, you know, do your best every day. Wake up, every day is a new day, and work towards that goal.
Sometimes the young kids, high schoolers, they come to me and ask, they want to be a lawyer, so which subjects they need to take in grade 11 and 12. What do you say? Do they have to take a law, or it's okay?
There's no prerequisite courses that you need to take. You could take art and go to law school. Your GPA is what's important, but I do tell kids and students to go shadow a lawyer, go sit in a courtroom, see if this is something you're interested in, because you can go, you know, all of law school not knowing what type of lawyer you want to be, or whether or not you want to be a litigator, so that's somebody that goes to court and trial, or do you want to be, you know, more of a solicitor where you do more paperwork, contracts, corporate, and you're not necessarily litigating. So I would advise them to go sit in a courtroom. If you are interested in law and those courses are offered, of course, take them out of interest, but ultimately the best way to learn the law or to learn any profession is to go shadow somebody who actually does it. And then you'll really see what a day in the life as a lawyer or a doctor or an artist or a dancer or whatever you might want to do really is. And that's my advice.
Everyone saw, or I have seen during pandemic and after pandemic, these young kids, they suffered, even everyone suffered. Their mental health, they have some issues, economical issues. Do you think so any crimes went up because of this?
I think crimes definitely went up. If you've seen in the city of Toronto, we have a very high crime rate right now. If you look at the news, there's something happening every day. I think fraud was a big thing that kind of went up with everything that happened with CERB, for example, during COVID, and there was many individuals that lost their jobs and had to resort to, you know, certain avenues that could ultimately put them in the criminal system.
Because of all this inflation, the hunger is on peak, right? Many people, they are like, last week I was in a food bank, just went to see someone, and people were lining up, right?
Yeah, so yeah. I think, you know, the whole economic state of Canada is suffering. People are, they can't afford to live.
Yes.
Just everything is so expensive right now.
Basic needs, right? They don't even have a basic need, right?
Yeah, basic needs are not being met. If you go to the grocery store, the prices are just crazy. So I can't even imagine it having to feed a whole family on these prices. So I think people are doing what they can to survive, and some might turn to criminal activity as an easy way out. They might see at the time, but ultimately it might cost them more in lawyer fees if they do end up choosing to do something like that.
For the audience, this program is sponsored by We Donate Foundation. We Donate Foundation is helping communities for many years, and on all Saturdays their food drive is open from 12 to 3. They can call and book their spot. And Nicole, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope the information you gave to my audience, they will take advantage from it, and people will learn from your journey. And next time, inshallah, when I'm gonna see you, you're gonna come up with lots of questions and answers, right?
Yes.
And all right, everyone, thank you so much for watching my program, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next show. Allah Hafiz.